Let's rank this collection of both beautiful and real ugly motherfuckers. Hello everyone, Boomini7 here, and welcome finally to my ranking of all 7 Predator films. I hope this helps because I've got my mic here, and that means I won't be touching it, so it won't like click at all, and I'm sitting down, so I can't like do this shit that makes me sick. So yeah, we've spent the last week actually. I believe, yeah, last week with an individual review of all 7 Predator films that came to you from my channel. And I promised that one of the things I've always been very excited for is doing massive rankings of franchises. And we finally get to do one today. Predator now has, just this year, increased from 5 to 7 films. And that we are going to talk about all of them here today, right now. So let's get right fucking into this. Coming in at number 7, last place, and not by a huge amount, but definitely not by a little amount of, shittiness. It is going to be the 2018 The Predator. And, for a movie that I really could not give even a little bit of a shit about for what it is and, like, how it presents all of its stuff, I guess. There is a bit of merit. There's a bit of merit to The Predator. It's got good action. It's got good effects. It's got good... Does it have good effects? No, it has alright effects. It's got decent action. It's got, some of the characters are a little likable, I suppose. But overall, it's just a catastrophic fucking mess of a movie. It's got way too much going for it. It's got way too much it's trying to do. And in all that, it really does nothing at all. I mean, you've got some wacky shit in here about, like, a kid with autism, and the Predators want the autism because they think the autism is going to make them better, smarter, maybe, is what we're going for here, is what they want. I don't know. Maybe that's what the movie wants to tell you. I can only assume because it just doesn't make any sense any other way. I mean, it doesn't make any sense that way, but you know what I mean. I mean, you got these characters here that are just there to be funny, right? You got the ragtag prisoner group that's there because they're supposed to be comedic and stuff, and they're not funny at all. They're not really funny. Their comedy doesn't stick. I mean, there's a bunch, like, they're your mother jokes, and they're like good your mother jokes. Like, they're like chuckle a little your mother jokes, but it's still your mother jokes. Like, we're not in like peak comedy here or anything. And like, the directing is a mess. The action, like you have scenes where pivotal characters die, and it's literally like blink, and like you blink and you miss it. Which, I mean, I like some blink and you miss it movies. I recently watched Jacob's Ladder for the first time. That's a blink and you miss it movie. But that's not when a like extremely important character dies and then they're just never mentioned again until you realize they haven't been here for like 5 minutes. Like, oh yeah, he's fucking dead. So yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened here. The Predator just doesn't really do anything for me at all. At all. Coming in at number 6, just 0.25 of a star rating above The Predator for me. And that's going to be the animated anthology film Predator, Killer of Killers. And as a guy who does not enjoy animated anthology movies a lot, the problems I have with this film are neither the fact that it's an anthology, nor is it the fact that it is animated. I really don't have any interest in watching more animated anthological Predator films, or any franchise for that, unless you're gonna give me something that's really exciting. Even though it seems like we might be getting like a new Killer of Killers once every couple of years, trying something different. Which, I mean, I'll watch, but like, I don't know. We'll see. The big problem with this film is not either the anthology or the animated side of it. The big problem is I feel it adds something to the Predator lore that is it would be a massive, massive spoiler, because it's literally like the last frame in the movie and then a post-credits or like a mid-credits twist, so I can't tell you. But I mean, just the general thing that happens to connect the anthology stories together, I did not like at all. I thought it added something to the Yautja culture that is just it's just not something that I have been convinced for the past, 5 movies up to this point that a Yautja clan would participate in. It just didn't feel like something they would do. And if that's the case, and I don't believe that they would do something like that, what is the point? Because at that point, I'm just not believing it. And if I don't believe it, then you don't really have a story at all. If you show me something, and then you show me something, and I generally don't believe the character would do it, like, sometimes that's a cool twist, but other times it just leaves me like, okay, so this is, like immersion breaking. And discussing on the actual anthology stuff, the Viking one is fine. The Samurai one is quite good, actually. By far the best part of this movie. The World War II one is okay, but the voice acting I felt was horrible. The voice acting for our main character in the World War II story was just terrible. So there's that. That doesn't help much. And like, it's a cartoon, right? It's animated, but like, the Predators are so fucking stupidly cartoonishly big. The best Predator is one that is like maybe a foot taller than a man. Not even, like half a foot. Like the original Predator. Predator's like 7 feet tall. Still scary as shit. You make him 10 feet tall where I'm literally like that to him, now it's just stupid. Now it's laughable. It's a joke. It's stupid. I hate how the Predator looks. So all in all, I mean, I would say I liked more about Killer of Killers than... I would say the things I hated about Killer of Killers, I hate more than the things I hate about the Predator. But there's just a lot about the Predator I didn't like, so that's why I think it does edge out. And, the animation's good, I guess. It looks nice, so, it's a bit better than the Predator. That's why Killer of Killers comes in at number 6. Coming in here at number 5, and a movie that I genuinely feel has the potential to skyrocket up in a future ranking and a future watch through, but as of right now, it kind of sits around this point, and that's going to be Predator 2. Predator 2, just, I like, this is where, okay, right, so it's kind of where it's like, 7th place and 6th place are movies I don't like. 5 through, I guess just 5 and 4 are movies that I think are pretty alright. And then 3 up are movies I genuinely really, really enjoy. So I like Predator 2. I really enjoy... I like the opening gang shootout. I horror movies that start with a shootout of some kind. Just... the shootout is always really fucking cool. This movie... The Devil's Rejects, which I'll probably talk about early next year if I actually keep the schedule I want to. Just these shootouts that open a horror movie really set a tone in a way over, like, this is going to be a dirty movie. Like, this is going to be nasty, this is going to be violent, and it sets that tone pretty well. Similarly, but even more so, the slaughterhouse sequence near the end, where it's the Predator and Danny Glover's character, Harrigan? I believe his name is Harrigan. Really, like the fight scene, the Predator, Harrigan, Danny Glover fight scene that happens in the slaughterhouse near the end of the film, loved it to bits. One of my favorite sequences of the entire franchise, and it works for me. That's what worked. I liked it a lot. I like those portions a lot. And especially the ending that happens. Liked it a lot. I liked it a lot. There are a lot of things I dislike it, which is why it's number 5. I think the second act, I think the second half of the first, I think the second half of the first act and the second half, wow, what the fuck? I think the second half of the first act and the second act are painfully, dreadfully boring. I think they're really boring, man. They're just, they're boring. I don't know what else to tell you, man. It doesn't work for me at all, unfortunately. And it is what it is. It is what it is, I guess. I don't know. It's alright. Again, it's a movie that I'm excited to go back and watch through because I feel like I could get a lot more out of it if I rewatch it. But as of right now, it's just a movie with a lot of cool things, and the cop aspect is cool. A lot of cool shit. Overall pacing, though. Coming in at number 4, and a movie I don't have many problems with, but I'm also, it's like Predator 2 is a film that I have a lot of negatives and a lot of positives to. The next film, I don't have a lot of negatives, but I also don't have too many positives, and that's going to be the 2010 Predators. This is a very fun movie, but I would have still liked a bit more. What the fuck? Can you guys see me? No, sorry. I'm picking up a sock on the ground. What the? I'm not a huge action guy because I like fun movies and stuff, but I would like a little bit of something in them, right? One of my favorite movies of the year so far has been Jimmy and Stiggs, because it's a super fun movie, but also has elements of other stuff on top of the action and stuff, like the neon and the aliens. I mean, the fucking Jimmy and Stiggs and Predators are night and day. But you get what I mean, right? Like, they're, like, I wanted something a bit more with Predators that I didn't really get. I mean, again, the action is really good in Predators. The action is really fun, and it all works. The characters, I genuinely enjoy a lot of the characters. I feel like they add a lot to the overall theme, and not really theme, but, like, tone of the movie, and I enjoy the acting. The acting all works for me. Personally, I don't really think anyone stands out as being poorly acted. And I mean, like, that's what that's, you know, if no one's being poorly acted, then that's a good thing. You know, I'm just making sure everything looks good. Does it sound good? I think it sounds okay. Okay. And yeah. Stuff like that, I think a lot of it works in this movie, but I also think it works in a way where it doesn't try anything at all. There's almost no character development except for some generic, like, oh, we're friends now, I'm going to sacrifice myself for you. That doesn't really work for me very much. There's just a lot of things that I feel they could have done a bit better in terms of actually giving me characters I care about. Like, uh-oh. Hello? Oh, shit, sorry. It works in a way where I feel like the characters, I don't know, I just want a bit more story. None of the it's really just characters are here, get them to here. And, like, there's nothing else there. There's a little sequence with a guy who's been there for a while, I guess, is his whole subplot. But, I mean, you never learn, like, what's going on with the Predators, why one's locked up. You never learn, like, who dropped them here. You never learn anything at all. It's just get characters from one place to another, and if you're down to just, like, fucking flip a switch in your brain and do, like, Golden Freddy for a movie, it'll be fun enough. But, like, I wasn't looking for, this was not what I was hoping for. But it was still fun. It was fun. I wasn't bored. It was fun. Would have liked a bit more, though. This top 3 are all movies I genuinely really enjoy. There's a bit of a gap between 2 and 1, and I'm sure you know what 1 is. No, but 2 and 3 was very difficult. I flipped back and forth on these a little bit on these two. I'm happy with what I ended up with in terms of where things. Bless me. I was very happy with where things ended up with my ranking, and I like this ranking. I'm very dead set. The only thing I'm a little iffy on is Predator 2, but, you know, on a rewatch I'll decide. That doesn't matter. 2 and 3 was a bit difficult for me to figure out what I wanted. But overall, I came in with with number 3 being the brand new film we just received in theaters, Predator: Badlands. And this is just a joyful, whimsical, fun, almost like Marvel / Disney-ified Predator action adventure film. And I thought a lot of it were... I'll get my negatives out of the way first, actually, and then I'll talk about the positives. Because my only real negative is I thought it was a little too comedic. There's a certain grit I want in a Predator movie, and I didn't really enjoy how overtly, like... I don't know, like... group, like, band of merrily friends on an adventure, it felt a bit sometimes. You know, not everyone's gonna be down for a Predator movie where the whole thing is the real trophy we claimed was the friends along the way, because that is really what it is. No, I was having a blast in the theater in terms of what I was seeing on screen. My reaction to what I was seeing on screen was like I was never bored. There was never a point where I was bored during this film. And that's good. If I'm never bored during a film, that's a good thing, right? That's step one. Step one to making me give a movie like a 3.5, I'm never bored once. On top of that, you got some gnarly action sequences, some crazy, like, creature, because there's no humans, right? Everyone that looks like a human is a synthetic, a robot. And then everything else is like these creatures. And I mean, it doesn't feel like we're missing any gore. Like, I was a little worried, like, oh, no humans? Like, this is going to be kind of tame. And it's a tamer, I guess, but still, I wasn't feel like I was losing anything incredible. Or I didn't feel like I was losing a whole lot by having the blood be white instead of red with the robots. And it just worked for me. Again, I hope this isn't the permanent direction we're taking Predator movies. If we want to do this film and maybe a sequel to this film, I'm fine with that, but let's not have every other Predator movie, like, Predators being scary motherfuckers. I would still like to see at some point. This was a fun experiment. I really enjoyed it. I don't want to give any spoilers away, but I thought Predator Badlands was a damn good entry, and it was just a fun time. Unironically, for the whole family. Like, you could show your fucking, like, 12-year-old this movie. Maybe don't, but you could. Maybe don't, but, like, you could. Maybe don't, but you could. What I ultimately decided on for number 2 is going to be Prey. The 2022 film where you have a super not technologically advanced whatsoever Predator that goes into and starts hunting this, or like in the area around a Native American tribe. And I was, ever since I heard about this film, and obviously I'd only watched it for the first time. The ranking I did was my first time watching any movie except the first one. I'd watched the first one several times. And obviously, you know, as you can tell, we haven't talked about the first one yet. But every movie after the first one, I liked the fact that none of them felt like rehashes. But I still missed a bit of the first one. There's no movie that feels like the first Predator. Prey is the closest you get to feeling like the original Predator, where you got people that are just outgunned, outskilled by the Predator, and they gotta improvise, adapt, and overcome this fucking crazy ass creature. And everything about it works for me. Not everything. I'm exaggerating a bit. There are some basic things that don't work. I thought we meandered on the French individuals a little too much. I thought I really would have wished we had focused, because like the way they make it so you can have a lot more kills in the movie with cannon fodder characters is they have these like French colonizers. I would have preferred to see like it just be the Native American tribe versus the Predator. I didn't feel they were hugely necessary, but they're there. So, and I did enjoy it for what it was. You know, there's something I would have preferred they take, but they didn't. And what they did instead was pretty acceptable. Like, I don't have a huge problem with it. The action is fucking cool as fuck. Like, it's the coolest movie that isn't the first one. It's really just... It's a badass movie. It's a great time. It's a bit more slow burn than I thought. Going in, I thought it was going to be a non-stop 1v1, damn near silent film thrill ride, which is not what it was. I don't know if I'm happy or a little disappointed that it wasn't that, but I enjoyed what we got. It's a little too slow burn. My only other big negative is I thought the actual, like, Predator design didn't really work for me. Like, sorry, I'm just noticing my voice. Like, I have a voice that only comes out when I'm doing a YouTube video. Like, I don't talk like this to other people. I don't know why. It's not conscious. I'm actually trying to change my, whatever, you know, we're working with it. Yeah, the only thing I thought was a real negative is I didn't like the actual physical design of the Predator much. I thought the mask was cool, but I didn't really like how he looked, like, skinless. Like, he had just muscle. Like, not like jacked, even though he was fucking ripped. I'm talking like literally it looks like he had no skin and all you could see was the muscle. That's a little weird to me. You know, the claws were kind of whatever. He had claws in the Predator, but yeah, besides that though, a really fun experiment movie that I think it deserves a bit more credit. No, that's not true. It's like one of the favorites of the franchise. No, I liked it though. I liked it a lot. Second favorite of the franchise. Being the second favorite in the franchise, where number one for me will always be locked due to like nostalgia and stuff, is a pretty damn good thing to be. But if it wasn't obvious enough by process of elimination, it's obvious enough just based on what we're doing here, what we're ranking, because number one is going to be the original Predator. Now, everyone that tells me that from outside horror, every time I talk about movies, I always hear like, oh, well, obviously the original is best. And that's honestly not extremely true with a lot of horror movies I've learned over the past. You know, I've been a horror movie fanatic for about 4 years now. And I've learned that there's a lot of movies that, there's a lot of times that's not true. This is not one of those times, though. The original, I think, Prey is a 4 out of 5 stars for me. This is a 5 out of 5. This is one of my favorite movies of all time. And I just really, I don't know, man. I love it a lot. I just love it a lot. I don't know what else I can say about it that I didn't gush about in my 20-minute review. I think all of the characters are memorable and they work very well. You know, they work well in an almost comedic sense of like how badass they are and then how much they get slapped around by the Predator. The comedy works. All the comedy is there. That fails in pretty much the rest of this franchise. You got Arnie in what I think is his best straight up acting role. I mean, I haven't seen Terminator, and I've heard that he's good in Terminator, but I mean like acting like a human being. I think this is his best like acting as a human role, which is obviously very different than acting as a robot. I think this is his best straight performance that he gives in a movie, because you know he's an action guy. I actually think of him like he's got his one-liners, you know, get to the chopper, stick around, stuff like that, which people don't realize is from Predator. No, you have some actual moments where, like, I'm like, no, he is scared. Like, his character is fucking scared right now. And that's what he need, and that's what you need here. You need a guy who can be tough and action, like, who can be looking fucking like holy fuck. And then you need him to be scared as shit because there's a, like, Predator thing, like an alien that no one has ever seen before, here to fuck him up. I mean, obviously not no one has ever seen before, you know, Prey and stuff, but you know what I mean. I'm going to say this with 100% sincerity. There has never been a film that I have sat down and watched for the first time that I've genuinely sat there and gone, holy shit, is that better than Scream? Because I remember the night I watched this movie for the first time, I don't remember exactly what I was doing. I remember I had something to do the next day that I was excited for. I don't remember what it was at all. It was like, 2 years ago at this point. But I remember sitting there watching it and just being awestruck the entire time. Predator is the only movie that, especially on a first watch through, I sat and went, holy fuck. Maybe this is it. Since that initial watch, I never loved it as much as that initial watch. It's still a 5 out of 5 for me. Like best, like one of the best of all time. It's not better than Scream for me. But just the fact that Everett gave me that reaction means something. Like that, to me, that is a big deal. This movie has a very special place in my heart as like a top 10 of all time for me. I don't know if it'll ever be thrown in my top 10. No, I love the original Predator so much, and I think it will probably forever in my ranking of all of the Predator movies. The original will probably always reign supreme. And that is going to be it. Thank you all so much for watching. I really hope to get my Alien reviews out soon, because obviously Alien vs. Predator, I would like to do that. There might be a bit of a break in between this video and the Alien review. We'll see. But I'm trying to get into a bit of consistency when it comes to movie reviews. We have never had this many movie reviews on the channel. We have 7 different movies reviewed on the channel, and that is my record. So I hope we can keep up a bit of consistency with that. It obviously won't be like once a day forever. Like this was a special week where I recorded them all and then posted them. Like I had them all set up and then I scheduled them. So I probably did the Badlands video like 2 weeks ago. But yeah, it doesn't matter. That's going to be it. Thank you all so much for watching. If you did enjoy, comment, like, subscribe, do all that bullshit down below. And I will see you in the next one. Bookman87, out.